It sounded like a bomb went off.
There's power wires on that, live power wires on my truck.
Stay home. Do not come out.
It's overwhelming. You know, I put so much into this house.
There's no real way to prepare for it.
All I kept thinking about was my family.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We are tracking significant tornado and spring storm damage in the area tonight.
Our WTOL 11 team of meteorologists says the threat is over, but the storms packed strong winds and brought down buildings, tore off roofs, toppled trees, and sent live power lines across the street, leaving thousands of people in the dark across northwest Ohio and in southeast Michigan. This is a look at what the storm looked like. You just saw there as it moved through our area. And take a look at this wild video, more of this, that we got from a viewer in Point Place. Our chief meteorologist, Chris Vickers, confirmed that this is a tornado.
We'll get out to our weather team in a bit for more on what we saw tonight. We also have our team of anchors and reporters standing by in the field right now.
Chase Bachman and Kaylee Marentet are out live for us tonight, but first we start with storm damage in Point Place. Our weather team did confirm a tornado touchdown there tonight. I went there for several hours. Our plan was to be there live for you tonight. Technology just didn't cooperate because of everything that happened tonight, but you can see there, that is Suter Avenue at Ottawa River Road that is shut down. You can see lots of damage. There's a ProMedica lab that's destroyed by this storm, and you can very clearly tell, and Chris called it a tornado very soon after seeing that video, because look at that damage. That is signature tornado damage. That's a car wash right there. We caught up with the mayor, who said that he'd been in touch with the governor this evening should any more help be needed. We also talked with the owner of the Anchor Inn, who sits right there at Suter and Ottawa River Road. He said they were just inside playing a game of Name That Tune, didn't really know anything was going on, and then he explains what happened next. Also caught up with a guy named Harry just walking down Suter Avenue who looked up and saw the tornado. Take a look.
About 6:30, everybody, or a couple of our customers came in running or yelling that tornado, everybody get in the basement. So we didn't hesitate. We rushed everybody into the basement, and fortunately everybody's okay.
And we were in the yard work, doing yard and everything, and we kind of like looked, it was like real calm. We looked up. We found weird, but you looked up and all of a sudden we could see the clouds turning in a circle. I've seen them before in Colorado, so I said, that's a tornado. And by the time I said that, just that quick, within like 45 seconds from beginning to end, maybe even a minute, that thing picked up so quick, it was everything we could do to go from here like 50 feet into the house. Everything we could do to pull this door closed.
A lot of close calls out there for people tonight. You saw all that damage, and one of the things the mayor told us is that they have not received, the city has not received one 911 call from anyone who is hurt or injured in this tornado. Chris, one of the things that I thought was remarkable when talking to all of these people out there in Point Place was, I mean, a lot of them were outside. It just didn't seem that severe to them when it happened, but you can see that video that viewer sent in just toppled those trees right over in those buildings.
Yeah, for many it felt like a normal afternoon, normal evening as the storms rolled out of southern Michigan. And Melissa, they snuck up on many across the Toledo metro. And I do suspect we're going to come away with several confirmed tornadoes this evening. How about this view again? The video is just really jaw dropping. We see the clear circulation as that tornado came through Point Place. Debris not only lofted and picked up, but check it out, a roof that was thrown there. And the circulation with that vortex very clearly in contact with the ground. And as we see another view of this coming through, there's power flashes, which would be indicating that we've got some serious winds with that tornado. And of course, crews will be out here in the coming days to assess the magnitude and the severity of that. Now, we are all severe clear right now at the current time. We've got showers and storms that are now well off to the south and to the east, but the damage was really surreal across many of our neighborhoods in and around Point Place. There still is an active risk of some flash flooding over there toward Erie and Huron County. And they got hammered with about 5 inches of estimated rainfall, but the really heavy storm came right along our lakeshore, and there it is. And that's the one that got you in Point Place over toward Shoreland. Another storm up there toward Monroe County likely produced a tornado as well. So multiple tornadoes likely to be confirmed, and significant damage, a confirmed tornado, and how about this, baseball-sized hail being reported in and around Point Place. And the pictures are certainly jarring about that. Now, where we go from here, we've still got some power outages. The recovery will take some time, and the pictures and images continue to come in. We're just very thankful. No widespread reports of any significant injuries. More on the video and pictures that continue to pour in, though. Let's get over to meteorologist Matt Willoughby. And Matt, you and I have been kind of pouring through some of this, and each time we see one, we're like, boy, can you believe what you're looking at? Tell us what you got here.
Yeah, so we have tons of video and pictures in there all night long. WTOL 11 viewers have been sending in photos of what we saw, and these pictures of the storm and damage we've seen tonight. This picture right here is from Ottawa County, showing at least some tennis-sized hail. And of course, this is the photos and pictures of the Point Place, where we saw hail and down trees, and of course, the building collapsed. And you can see that as we look here. And of course, tons of pictures, even trees down, and even for us right here, multiple trees from this damage across Northwest Ohio, and even right here, just over by a gas station, you can tell multiple roofs and trees down. And you can even update more pictures and upload more pictures on our WTOL 11 weather app and the WTOL app. We'll send it back over to you, Melissa.
All right, as we continue to track the storm damage in Point Place, we are along Suter Avenue. You and I, Tatiana Cash, earlier tonight. The roads were closed. There were power lines down, gas smell. That Ottawa River Road exit was closed. A lot of debris. You were there on the scene where that roof collapsed on Suter Avenue, and you talked to even more people. Were they as shocked as the people that I caught up with that this kind of just came in and took them by surprise?
Melissa, not only were they shocked, it was more so just like a pure confusion. It almost seemed like several people I spoke with were kind of in a daze. And honestly, I'll be right there along with them. Like I was in that daze with them, just because when you looked at all the damage and just the fact that, again, as we've heard, and actually Toledo Fire actually did here at Washington Township Fire Department, when they spoke about the fact that no injuries, no deaths, but looking at just how intense that damage was. ProMedica building gone. There was a Sunoco, as well as a Marathon gas station, as well as that strip mall behind there. All of it destroyed pieces, just in tatters. There was, insulation, as well as what are those things called? I apologize. Power lines were down. It's just so much. In a sense, can't even find the words. And then I realized, as we're standing here talking from the fire department, we have no power here. So folks are using generators right now. So many folks are in the dark tonight, and it's just the blessing that no one has been injured. But at the same time, when I talked to folks, they were grateful but still very confused. I talked to the phlebotomist who's been working at that ProMedica for 4 years. His name was Kendrick Mosley, and Kendrick said, I just closed up shop around 4:30, went home to West Toledo, and then heard reports, came right back and realized my whole job was gone. And he was very concerned for folks in the area. A woman who had been driving during the actual storm itself said she was shocked that power lines had come onto her car, but again, the blessing was she was safe. So no injuries, which was good news, but yeah, it's just astounding. And the fact that, again, no power, generators. So definitely stay safe, folks. And again, they're asking you to stay home. And if you need to talk with someone, call 911 if you cannot get a hold of them and you are concerned. So for now, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Tatiana, thank you. As we stay on top of tonight's storm damage, we have some outages to tell you about in our area. This is from 10:30 tonight from First Energy. Over 8,000 people are without power in Lucas County, nearly 6,000 in Huron County, and over 3,500 in Sandusky County. That is a view right there from Toledo all the way over to Cleveland with areas of power outages. Now, more damage tonight, this time near Alexis and Detroit in Toledo. Take a look at this video. Strong wind knocked down trees, even ripped a roof off a West Toledo apartment building on Alexis. Our cameras spotted debris scattered from the roof along the road. Now, we also found several trees that hit homes on DeVita, leaving neighbors shaken.
It sounded like a bomb went off. I was standing right in the middle of the house, right where the tree hit, and it just slammed right through the roof. Thank goodness it didn't break through the ceiling, but it sounded like a bomb went off.
And a reminder, we've said it before, but it's worth repeating. Authorities are asking people to stay in their homes. Debris and downed power lines can be deadly. Now, getting to more damage across Northwest Ohio. Kaylee Marintet is live in Ottawa County tonight. Carver specifically. Kaylee, what have you seen tonight?
Dan, not a lot to see right now. There's no lights anywhere. A lot of people out of power, but I want to show you what a viewer sent in earlier, what they saw. This is what someone saw in Oak Harbor. This came in from Julia Ann. You can see that cloud coming down and a lot of this dust and debris coming up. Very scary sight here. I did speak to someone who lives in a house over here, and their family owns a dairy farm that had about 400 cows in it that completely collapsed. She said that she was in the living room and she saw the funnel cloud coming down into their yard, and that's when she went down in the basement. Again, about 400 cows were there, and they said they got loose. I spoke to the owner who said they wrangled about 85 of them into a side barn over here, and thankfully most of them are all right. A lot of the areas that we went around, we saw a lot of downed power lines, a lot of road closed signs, so you aren't able to travel well in the area. We saw a lot of trees on houses and just a lot of destruction. A lot of that happening just within the few blocks here. Thankfully, we haven't heard of any injuries in this area, but a lot of people just ready to say, hey, this happened, we need to rebuild, we need to restart here. But again, a lot of these roads closed right now. We're at a road closed sign right now, but we will stay in the area and bring you any updates as soon as we learn of them. Reporting live in Oak Harbor, Kaylee Marentet, WTOL 11.
Let's get out to Chase Bachman right now. He joins us live in Oregon tonight, tracking some damage there. Chase, what did you find?
Well, Mel, thankfully the scene has been very quiet right now. Not a lot of lights here. It's just a very calm scene. But as you can see across the way, a lot of tree damage, a lot of broken branches falling down onto the ground. A lot of people's yards covered in branches and leaves and debris all across this area. So a lot of the afternoon, evening was spent raking up those branches, collecting stuff, breaking things down with a chainsaw, making piles and leaving them for collection. We actually spoke with one woman who had a few trees in a neighboring yard collapse onto her roof and completely totaled it. She said she spent $3,000 just a few months ago to put this brand new roof together. That roof is now completely totaled, and now she said she has to spend the next few hours assessing the total damage and trying to figure out what exactly to do next.
It's overwhelming. You know, I put so much into this house. We bought it 3 years ago, and I've been putting money into it to make sure that this little cottage is something we have to retire in. And every year we pick a new project, and this year it was the garage roof. We had plans on fixing the house roof later next year, and probably sooner rather than later at this point.
So we spoke with that woman. She said she's actually a former Florida resident. She had survived Hurricanes Andrew and Charlie. She said that her homes down there never had any damage. She was able to escape scot-free in those situations, but unfortunately she comes up here to Ohio and now she's a victim of some of that tree damage. Reporting live in Oregon, Chase Bachman, WTOL 11.
Remarkable to see how much there is to clean up. We're going to get into that next phase. They're assessing right now, and then we're going to get into that part where people are really trying to clean up. And you can see those markers, as Chris called it, as soon as he saw that video. When you're out there, you can see the bending metal and the trees just broken in half.
The First Energy
power
crews
lines
will be very busy in the next few days in trying to get the power back on and repair a lot of the damage was done. But fortunately, it's mostly trees, some power lines, some property damage, yes, but not. It could have been a lot worse as we look at this video again of that apartment building that was knocked down.